And so we were at LG's one day, and we said, LG's, would you like to bring any of your neighbors to church? And he goes, there's this lady over there named Maria. You could invite her to church. She could probably, use a little bit of church, he said. And so we went over there and invited Maria. And Maria said, no, I don't really want to. But you should... we were talking to her, and she had this friend next to her. And the friend kept whispering something in her ear. And we couldn't really hear what she was saying. And finally Maria said, well, just tell him, Jika, that you want them to go to your house. Why don't you tell him? And so Jika, her friend, looked at us and said, do you guys mind if could you guys come to my house and teach my family after? And we said, sure, we'll be there in about 10 minutes. We'll just finish up here with Maria. So Jika got up and left. And so we finished there, and we went down to Jika's house. It was just right next to LG's house on the other side of the road. And she was leaving her house. She was closing the door and walking up the hill. And we said, Jika, where are you going? And she goes, well, I didn't think you guys would come. And we said, of course we come. And she goes, well, you just don't meet people very often that are going to do what they're going to say. And so let's go back to my house. And she had her brother there, and there was about 2 other people. And we went down there and taught her, and we had a great lesson. And we said, well, Jika, this is great. Here's a Book of Mormon. Read this passage. Here's a pamphlet. And we'll come back tomorrow night at around 7 and invite anyone else you want. And we'll give them, this lesson and a pamphlet as well. And so we went back the next night, and she had brought 5 friends from the neighborhood. So we thought, wow, this is great. And so we taught the lesson. We taught the first lesson again, and we gave out the first lesson pamphlets and gave a couple Book of Mormons out. And we said again, hey, if you guys want to bring whoever we're going to do the same thing tomorrow night here at Jika's house. And they said, okay. And we went back the next night, and there was like another 6 people there. So at this point, we had probably 16 people listening to this first lesson. And by this point, the people that were there the first time had really started to know the first lesson. I mean, they really knew what was going on. And we did that, and we just kept asking them to invite more people. And pretty soon, we had about 30 people at this house. And we'd go there, and we would... people would bring snacks, and we'd show a nice short film of the church, and then these people started coming to church on Sunday, and it about doubled the size of the group, and they just became our best friends. And they loved the church, and they loved going to this little school that wasn't even a chapel, and these little chairs, and it was such a spiritual experience. And after about 3 weeks after meeting Jika, she was baptized along with 2 others, and then the next week another 3 got baptized, and the next week another 4 got baptized, and it just kept going until the majority of them were baptized and became faithful members of the church. And one night when we were leaving, Jika told us, she said, can I tell you guys something? And we said, yeah. And she said, that day when I was over at Maria's house, I told the Lord that I couldn't go on anymore. And I had decided that I was going to kill myself. And I talked to you guys, and I went back to my house, and I thought, well, I wanted to talk to those guys, but I just don't think they're going to come. And she said, I was on my way to buy rat poison to kill myself. And then you guys stopped me and took me back and gave me this lesson, and it completely changed my life. And I owe my life to you guys. And it just struck me, the importance of our work and the importance of listening to the Spirit and putting everything in the hands of the Lord, because there are so many people that are waiting for the missionaries to come, and the Lord has prepared these people, and He expects us to be there when we're supposed to be there, and to be working when we're supposed to be working, and praying and doing all these things, so we can, bring eternal life to these people and make them happy in this life and in the next. Excuse me.